Hi there, this is Tata with Rangers of Wrestling bringing you the Wrestling Time Post Show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing both AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown. Let's kick things off with AEW Rampage. Alright, so AEW Rampage kicked off with the incredible match between Eddie Kingston and Jake Hager. Alright, so pretty much it seemed to me like at the beginning, Jake Hager was using Eddie Kingston as like a punching bag because he was like literally punching him in the back. But of course, Eddie Kingston countered with those open hand strikes to Jake Hager. Oh, and then at one point, Jake Hager threw Eddie Kingston into the turnbuckles. I really like the ending sequence that had the Eddie Kingston hitting Jake Hager with the spinning back fist. He did that twice. So that was really cool. I'm really glad Eddie Kingston won this. I felt like he needed to win more. So now we'll see what happens with Eddie Kingston as we move forward with this. Then we had a Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D segment. She's basically saying that somebody put their fingers on the title, referring to when Toni Storm on AEW Dynamite handed the AEW Women's World title to Thunder Rosa. She's saying that arrogance is a mask of insecurity and that the women's title misses her and that someone from Team D.M.D will win the belt back. So, I don't know how you feel about that. I like Britt Baker, but I just feel like maybe other people should probably be given a chance to win the belt before Britt Baker wins the title back. At least I think so. Then we had Jay Lethal and Satan Sin in his in-ring debut versus Davey, Vega, and Matt Fitchett. I think that's how you say it. So basically, this match obviously was designed to show what Satan Sin can do, and he, obviously, in a typical jobber fashion, Davey, Vega, and Matt Fitchett were designed to lose this match, and this match was basically constructed to show off what Satan Sin can do. He did a double crossbody, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course, he was dominating Matt Fitchett. I mean, did you see the guy? See, look at him. And let me see. Satan Sin was terrible. He's Great Khali 3.0. Oh my god. So of course he was going to win this. I was not expecting him to lose. I mean, look who they were facing. You had Satan Sin hold both Vega and Fitchett while Jay Lethal hit the lethal injection to them. And of course, Lethal and Satan Sin won. Okay, so I still think Satan Sin's a little rough around the edges. Yeah, he did a good crossbody. Just a little rough around the edges. I think with a little bit more training, a little bit more more experience in the ring, he'll probably get better. I honestly do probably think that he will get better, just more practice. Only two moves does not make Satan a good wrestler. That's true. It doesn't. But he is a tall guy. So, obviously, we're not expecting him to be a high flyer. We're not expecting him to do crazy athletic moves. But, I guess we have to wait and see more of him. If he's going to continue doing the same two moves, like a crossbody, then it's going to get boring really quickly. He needs to do more moves. But we have to wait and see how it plays out again because we don't know. He can only get better. I don't think he could get worse. That's the positive side of things. Then we had a Hookhausen segment. And they were basically saying how they've been doing since they won at Double or Nothing. And I really like the fact that first Danhausen was like, oh, they bought themselves cars. And he's by himself. And then after he drives away, Hook pulls up in the same car, but it's all much a different color scheme, and then it's just hilarious. I'm actually really digging Hookhausen together. I see him doing the same two moves when he has his next match. He's Walmart Great Value Great Khali. Again, we have to wait and see. We cannot just judge him on this one match. Again, if he continues doing the same moves every time, then yeah, I could say he's terrible. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here, okay? Then we had Kris Statlander versus Red Velvet. Is it just me, or does Red Velvet's theme sounds like a remix version of Too Cool's old theme? So this was a good match. I actually really like this match. Of course, Kris Statlander was victorious after she hit the Friday Night Fever, and of course Anna Jay comes out to try to help Kris Statlander, but the numbers are too much for her. The only thing, Athena tried to came out, but the officials held her back. Obviously, they don't want her to touch Jade yet, so they're gonna stop for that. I honestly feel like you can build Athena versus Jade probably to All Out. At least that's how I see it. But when those two meet, it's gonna be epic. And I honestly think Athena would be the one to take the title off of Jade. I really do. Then we get an Ethan Page segment, and he's basically talking about how he's gonna go up against Miro. How Miro's God Spirit champion. He says Ethan Page says he prays to himself and he looks up to himself. He's gonna win the title and take Canada to the promised land. So Athena is ending Jade's undefeated. Yeah, she definitely is. And it's gonna be a good match. So I have to say, like, I like Miro. Between Miro and Ethan Page, I feel bad for Ethan if he loses, because he has yet to win gold. But I don't think Miro's going to lose so quickly as he's come back. I still think it's kind of, I don't want to say hilarious or ironic, but I still think it's some type of way that both Ethan Page and Kiera Hogan left their respective partners in Impact. Ethan Page left Impact, so breaking up the North. Kiera Hogan left Impact, breaking up Fire and Flavor. Yet their respective tag partners, Tasha Steelz and Josh Alexander, are the main champions in Impact. Josh Alexander being the Impact World Champion, and Tasha Steelz being Knockouts World Champion. Yet Kiera Hogan's stuck in a tag team, and Ethan Page is stuck in a tag team. So I find that kind of like ironic, you know. And like Kiera Hogan, when she went to AEW, she was mostly on Dark and Elevation. It's only just recently that she's done this whole baddie stable that she's gotten TV time. So see how things work out for both of them. Then in the main event, we had doing good. In the main event, we had a trios match. It was Aussie Open and Will Ospreay versus Trent Beretta and FTR. So I thought Will Ospreay and Trent Beretta were going to start this match, but obviously it was Dax and Ospreay that kicked off this match. It was a good match. Oh my god, the one sequence I really, really liked was actually the ending sequence. It's like they hit FTR with so many moves. Like they got the cutter to cash, and then by Aussie Open, and then the 450 splash, but that wasn't enough to win the match. And then you had Ospreay take out FTR on the outside, and then that allowed Trent Beretta to take out Fletcher. So I'm surprised Trent Beretta and FTR won this match. I was expecting Will Ospreay and Aussie Open to win this. Amazing main event. Will Ospreay impressed me since I've never seen any of his matches. Honestly, I'm on the same boat as you, Michael. I've never seen Will Ospreay wrestle, although I was at Resurgence last year, but the only thing Will Ospreay did was cut a promo. So I was impressed by his promo cutting skills last year, but this is the first time I've ever seen him wrestle, and I was actually really, really impressed by Will Ospreay. And that was a really great main event. I want to see more of Will Ospreay, but I'm just really shocked that they lost. You would think that Will Ospreay and Aussie Open should have won this match. That's what it looked like it was going for, that they were going to win. Especially when at the end, Ospreay took out FTR on the outside, and then out of nowhere, Trent Beretta attacked Fletcher and they won. So it's like that just baffles me in a way, you know? Ospreay should have won, I agree. Look him up versus Ricochet. Definitely will. Rampage is an 8 out of 10. So tonight's Rampage was good. I just feel like it was missing a little something. I disagree with the finish with the main event. I still think Will Ospreay and Aussie Open should have won. Great women's match. Xia Lee and Satan Singh, their match was a little bit predictable and again designed to show off what Satan Singh can do. And with that being said, it was a great opening contest. With that being said, I also had to give Rampage an 8 out of 10 just for those things alone. But let's talk about everyone's favorite Friday night show, Friday Night Smackdown. Alrighty. And so Friday Night Smackdown kicked off with a Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Oh my god, we've seen this. We've seen some other matches before, so I thought it was a good opening contest. Was it just as good as Eddie Kingston and was it just as good as Rampage's opening contest? No. It was actually, I guess they were both just as good, honestly. But in typical WWE fashion, Hager. Okay. Of course, in typical WWE fashion, we can't have nice things. Good match, but typical Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard booking. They do a double count out. Yeah, exactly. So again, great match, but yet, oh my god. So both Sheamus and Drew McIntyre get counted out and disqualified because they both use a chair on each other. And we don't even get a resolution to this. Like, you see throughout the night, you have Drew McIntyre talking to Adam Pearce, and you have Sheamus talking to Adam Pearce. We don't even get a resolution. We don't. Good match, but just crappy finish. I don't understand why WWE has to do this kind of stuff. Like, you didn't see. Imagine if Eddie Kingston versus Jake Hager would have ended like this. Do you know that was a great match? And if that match would have had this type of finish, I think people would have gotten upset. I don't know. I really don't know. I get a headache just thinking about WWE logic and booking. I'm like Rita Repulsa. I have a headache. Then we had the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was Lacey Evans versus Xia Lee. Nothing special about this match. Lacey Evans wins with the women's right, and so she ends up qualifying for the Money in the Bank match. Watch, we will get a rematch next week. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it's going to get at. Pretty sure. Then we get a Ronda Rousey segment, and before she can even she basically saying now how Natty uses a cheap imitation of her uncle's sharpshooter, and she's gonna win by using the armbar that she made famous. And then Shotzi Blackheart comes out and challenges Ronda to a fight. So this leads into Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi. So this match was actually not a bad match. I was actually really impressed by the fact that they gave Shotzi time. This wasn't just a squash match. If you guys recall, she said, "I quit very quickly in her last match." So very, very impressed that they gave her time. They showed off what she can do, and she got time. That's what matters. However, she still lost. So I'm not surprised though. She lost after Ronda hit her with the Piper's Pit. Then after the match, Natty came out and attacked Ronda and put her in the sharpshooter. So, but of course that doesn't mean Natty's going to win. Shotzi gets buried even more. Yeah. Shotzi doesn't deserve to get buried. No, she doesn't, honestly. She deserves a lot better. Then we had the Intercontinental title match. It was Ricochet versus Gunther. Let me tell you something. This match was actually a good match, and I'm really glad it had a clean finish. We didn't get a screwy finish. But I'm not surprised Gunther won. I mean, good for Ricochet. He got some offense in, but it doesn't surprise me. Gunther has been on a roll. I don't know why he stopped facing jobbers out of nowhere. But the one thing, I just feel really bad for Ricochet because supposedly I remember reading earlier that earlier this year he was scheduled to get a push because Vince McMahon saw him as the second babyface behind Drew McIntyre. But what push did he get? Yeah, he won the Intercontinental title, but the Intercontinental title wasn't even defended at WrestleMania. It was defended on the Go Home show to WrestleMania. Actually, and yeah. He didn't even defend the title. When was the last time the Intercontinental title was defended on a pay-per-view, actually? And he got lackluster. He had lackluster feuds. Really, he didn't. You would think that maybe he would have held an open challenge, but No, like nothing. Not even that. It's just really his reign was lackluster. Nothing quite memorable, actually, if you ask me. I got my NyQuil ready for Natalya versus Ronda at Money in the Bank. You know, I'm actually not going to go to Money in the Bank. I was, but then I changed my mind because I just felt like it wasn't worth the cost to go out there just like for a weekend trip. Like it really wasn't. I had my hotel booked, but I canceled it. I'm not going to Money in the Bank. In case anybody was wondering, like I'm not going. I'm just going to watch it at home. And it's a good thing I didn't buy my ticket because imagine they moved from Allegiant Stadium to the MGM Grand. I would have been pissed if I bought a ticket for a certain amount of money and then they got canceled. So I'm not going to Money in the Bank, just in case anybody's wondering. In the main event, before we get to it, we find out, I don't know why they're doing this. I have absolutely no idea why. There's gonna be a last laugh match. Madcap Moss versus Baron Corbin. I don't know why. I don't even know what a last laugh match is. I don't. I don't know why they're doing that to us again. I don't. So in the main event, it was Sami Zayn versus Matt Riddle. They were plugging this how if Matt Riddle wins, he gets to face Roman Reigns next week on SmackDown he gets a title match. And if Sami Zayn wins, Matt Riddle gets banned from SmackDown. That should tell you who was going to win. Claps for saving yourself for going to Money in the Bank. Thank you. I'll be watching at home with the rest of you guys because it's not worth the trip out there. It's really not, people. So this was a good match, but my gripe with this match is that, of course, it was a predicted match. We knew Riddle was going to win. The typical Usos attack after the match, and then Riddle attacks them, and that's how SmackDown ends. I have to say, give me 1 second, you guys. All right, so like my gripe with this was like Roman Reigns was originally supposed to defend his title at Money in the Bank, according to some sources. But then they switched. Then I guess he's not defending now. It's probably because of the change of venue from Allegiant Stadium to the MGM Grand. So now we're gonna have a random match on SmackDown, which we both know Riddle is not going to lose, is not going to win. So I don't know, just like why isn't he defending at Money in the Bank? Is he not gonna defend till SummerSlam? That's what it is, right? He's not gonna defend till SummerSlam. But anywho, I give SmackDown a 6 out of 10. Roman is missing his third pay-per-view in Money in the Bank. Yeah, he is missing his third pay-per-view. Didn't defend a Backlash. Didn't defend a Backlash. Didn't defend a Hell in a Cell, and now he's not defending a Money in the Bank. So utterly ridiculous, if you ask me. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.